like the PvE and the new seasons and stuff, that I understand that they couldn't really put a full forth effort into doing a crap ton of skins. But I would have liked to at least have a little bit more. But that's just my opinion, just me wanting more because I love customization in games. And if I
Yeah.
can't do that, I get bored.
Oh, OBS just crashed for a minute. And now we're back up. Here we go. Now we're back up. Yeah, OBS crashed, and so I guess there will be a two-parter video now.
Okay. But yeah, I just got the Kitiko bundle. Nothing else.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, on to other things. So we discussed the Halloween event, all that just... Now, how does everyone feel about the May being bugged?
Oh, yeah, I want her back. I don't like when they take characters out.
I think they need to take Bastion and Torb back out because it's bullshit.
Torb is fine. Bastion is
No,
extreme.
fuck Torb.
Torb is fine. I don't... No, honestly speaking, Torb is really counterable. Way more than he was before.
He's very squishy.
He's very squishy.
Yeah.
He does a lot of damage, but he's very squishy. Bastion, I know a lot of people are complaining about Bastion, but I think that's because he does so much damage with damage boost.
Like, even if he doesn't have damage boost, if you've got... Okay, say you're support. Let me lay out the field here. And you've got a Bastion on the enemy team, and say you got somebody that goes Bastion, and unfortunately your Bastion is a gold Bastion. The enemy team's Bastion, for some god-awful reason you've been placed against, he is fucking Masters, he is rolling that shit every left and right.
That's just a skill difference, though. It's not an issue with the character.
Yes.
That's a skill. That's a skill issue, not a character issue.
Okay, but my point is, it don't matter. Just, fuck Bastion. Take Bastion, Torb, Symmetra, May. If they're going to take May out because May's cancer.
No, they didn't take May out because May was cancer. They took May out because you could put Kiriko
I know that's not... Yeah, I know that's not why they took her out. I'm making a joke of the cancer.
So, Bastion... Going to defend Bastion here. The reason I think Bastion's so popular... This is my theory on why Bastion's so popular. So, we know that Sojourn is carrying the similar general class, that Soldier carries. But the reason Sojourn is so good in, higher elo play is because she has a one-tap ability that recharges for basically no cost. It's a neutral to one-shot, versus with more than average mobility, where Widow has a complete one-shot, but she has to be in the back line. Unless you stay out of her sight, she can't get to you. Sojourn can go anywhere she wants. Soldier, however, he's kind of being outclassed by Bastion. Sure, Bastion moves slower, but Bastion has, he has a higher damaging shot neutral. He has a grenade that does more damage than his rockets. He can't self-heal anymore, but he has a blitz cannon that can shred any shield in a matter of seconds, or a hog to near death, or any person that wants to get close enough to Bastion. I think the issue with Bastion's blitz, though, is it lasts for 9 seconds. It lasts as long as his ultimate did. Almost 10. His old ultimate was 10 seconds. This lasts for 9 seconds of just pure fire with no ammo limit, because old Bastion, he could fire at you, but he had to reload. And once he reloaded, you had your window of opportunity to go kill him. There's no reloading. He has infinite ammo at full damage ramp up for 9 seconds. You can just hold down your trigger or hold down your mouse and keep firing with no cost to you, because you move at the same speed while firing and while moving. So it's not like an Orisa thing where Orisa would shoot and she'd slow down to a halt when moving. So I think some ways they could rework Bastion is make it so his movement grinds to an almost halt when he's in turret form and shooting at the same time. It's like he's really moving slowly, or tone the damage down.
Just have a Sojourn shooter. Because right now, shields against a bastion isn't something that's going to work that well. So you need either a monkey, a diva, or a sigma or something like that, and taking an LOS and a soldier and just hard focusing them. Because sure, Widow could work, sure, Hanzo could work, sure, Ash could
Sombra.
work, Sombra,
But
Reaper, but
my
like,
but
yeah,
the theory is that I have is that because of that, because Sojourn is a better, much more agile soldier, and Bastion fulfills that role of high DPS volume for little to no work as a general hero in generally every situation, that overall Bastion's taking the old soldier spot. So now you're seeing Bastion everywhere, and his issues are becoming more apparent than what he used to be, which was a specialist character that you just played for certain things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Bastion, some things could be a bit tuned, but I think overall Bastion, okay. Torb, fine, whatever. I never have an issue. Symmetra is the one. That's the one I'm like, I miss May. I think quickly, May is in a fine spot. I think May is okay. I think, yeah,
Sim's getting a buff.
I
They're
know. I'm so happy
they're
because they,
giving her returning ammo on shields.
okay. I'm happy about that because the thing is they did shadow nerf her. Her turrets do 30 damage per second instead of 40, but that was never specified in any patch note or anything. They just, and you can tell, you can see clips of between like Symmetra turrets in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, and you can tell they're not as impactful now. And you can take them out with ease. Literally, just a punch will do it.
Well, you could do
And
that before.
true, but it's like they do less damage, and you can take them out no problem.
Which would you
Yeah,
rather? Which would you rather have? Old Symmetra with 9 turrets that do like 15 to 20 damage, or new turrets where there's only 3 that do like 30 to 40 damage.
whatever makes her viable. Whatever makes her viable, because if you play her in comp, literally nothing. Like maybe a good Symmetra, like people who are great at Symmetra, great, perfect.
Her
They're
ult is
wonderful.
amazing though. I will say I think the only reason she's kept afloat in comp is her ultimate is literally amazing because of all the bullshit with there not being a lot of shields anymore. She is so helpful.
Her alt is great, but my issue with it doesn't fit DPS. Really. I think it's the fact that it being a shield is awesome, but it doesn't fit standard DPS. Granted, I understand Widowmaker's is rare, but to be fair, she already has a one-shot ability that she can do up close, far away, has decent mobility, and
I
is a
think
great pick right now.
I
I think Widow's alt is fine with her as an exception, but Symmetra's...
in terms of kit, and character, the whole kit and caboodle with Symmetra is that she's all based around utility. Her beam is based around the utility and gimmick of charging up off a shield. Her turrets can slow people down with that being area denial. Her whole kit is kind of based around this utility of making the team easier for holding areas and getting to areas faster. So with her having the ultimate of this giant shield, that kind of makes sense. It's a utility thing, not a direct I'm doing damage thing. I see it as kind of like May ult. May ult is more utility than damage. What's another utility ult? I kind of do the same thing with like Torb. Torb, as I see more as utility than damage. Sure, you can spew it on someone and it does damage, but unless they step in it, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but I think also the problem I have with Symmetra is that even with the utility, a lot of her whole kit gets countered by so many people that it feels like you can't do much, especially if you have a good coordinated team. Like her shield, as much as it's great, EMP gets rid of it automatically. Her turret's pretty easy to, deal with. Her TP, although, is way more useful for more mobility and positioning. It doesn't stay a whole lot and has less health, which is fine. That's not a problem. But then it's like her alt fire, like also it's like, oh, she can hit faster. Like she can hit people faster, but it takes 3 bursts of it with full on dead aim to take out somebody that is 200 HP. So I feel like even with great utility, she gets countered by so many things, both far and up close, that I feel like Symmetra's just in a bad spot because
I think
everybody
that's
else can outclass her.
I think that's a good thing, though. So, like, here's my opinion on it. My opinion on Symmetra is, I think, like Kiriko. So Kiriko has great utility for her team. So, like Kiriko and Sigma, a tank and a support that can give great utility to their team, but overall are outshined in the healing and the damage department by most other things in their class. Sigma can get outshined by damage by Reinhardt or D.Va, or even Roadhog if he's good enough. And you can be outshined by, with Kiriko, by a Moira if you want raw healing, or damage if you want a Zen, or
Yeah,
Ana
but
if you want
Kiriko's-
something in between.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yep.
And in terms of overallness, what I see Symmetra as is utility for the team. She's utility for the team being there, and she gives great utility for that team and allowing them to do lots of things. And because of that, having her be counterable really easy, I think is much better, because in Overwatch 1, Symmetra was a big pain in the ass. A really big pain in the ass.
If you were in lower elos.
But yeah, I think overall, her being extremely counterable right now with all the damage, not a whole lot of shields to charge off of, is a good thing. It makes her a specialty pick rather than I pick Symmetra, you can't flank anymore.
I mean, to be fair, you can still flank without a Symmetra.
I meant that more as the enemy team. You can't flank anymore.
But I still hold in the ground in the basis that, yeah, I understand that she should have some decent counters, but it's the fact that I can look at the whole list right now, and practically almost anybody can take out a Symmetra with ease, and they have, they can do so much more than Symmetra ever can, and it's like, if I pick Symmetra, it's like everybody can do everything way better, and I mean almost literally everybody. So it's like, when I pick Symmetra, it's like, I can't do anything because everybody can literally do so much and more, and Symmetra has things going for her, but it just gets outclassed by literally everything, to the point that if you lower elos, fine, Symmetra can be great. When you get to higher elos, or even like just in higher elos in particular, you can't really play her because people are...
You can't really play Junkrat or Reaper either in higher elos. They're kind of like
it depends on your comp. It really depends on the map. It depends on what you're running and what you're trying to do.
From what I've seen,
I don't think Symmetra really fits in much.
From what I've seen of most characters overall, there are some characters that are viable. The way that I've seen it, at least from Flats and shit, and the way that he's said his opinion that I can at least understand, is that, and from what I've seen of high level play, just watching videos of it, is that it looks like the game's kind of balanced in the way of, there are characters that are going to be easier to play, that are really easy to play, can do a lot of damage, but they don't have a very high skill ceiling. The characters with a high skill ceiling, if you're good enough, will always be better than the ones with a low skill ceiling. I'm okay with that balanced side. Could you play Junkrat in a high elo and win? Yeah. But if you have the skill to play someone else higher than that, they're probably going to go with that. But I do understand where you're coming from. She does need kind of a buff. If I may interject with a proposal, would you care to hear?
Sure.
It's just a slight rework, which I think would help. Her turrets can charge up to greater damage. Have them start at 30. They can charge up to 40 as long as they're locked onto something. They charge faster off of shield, and they charge faster off of shield. So if they're destroying a shield, they'll be charging up their damage faster, and then whatever they hit after that shield, they keep the damage. If the target moves away and it goes to a new target, it starts to degrade its damage for a bit as long as it's being halted, and then it slowly builds that damage back up again. So say it's at full 40, full charge. Doesn't hit anything. Second goes by, it starts to decay every second by, say, 3 damage. And then, it started hitting something again. Now it's going up again. And her turrets can charge her beam. When her turrets are getting charged, her beam is getting charged. I think that would make her a more offensive threat, because that would make it so you got to kill the turrets first before you kill her. which giving her time to charge off of you, and the beams
That just
charging up.
means she could just hide around a corner and let the turrets do the work and just pop around the corner.
I'm saying
Which
they would.
means
I'm saying like they would help you in charge, but they won't give you full
Yeah.
charge. They will give you, say they give you half charge at most, and they'll keep you at half charge as long as they're killing something. You have to charge yourself to the rest.
Yeah. Well, I see what
I
you're
would be
going
okay
for.
with that. I think my issue though with her, because fine, I would have wished there was more transparency with her stealth nerf. Personally, I wish they would have specified that they nerfed it, because you can look at it, there's like nothing, and you can see that
Stealth
it's
nerf?
30 per second.
What?
Yeah, they didn't specify that they nerfed her turrets anywhere.
Oh, I thought you said stealth nerf. I'm like, how is she stealthy?
Oh. No, that'd be funny though. Just you don't hear Symmetra coming.
Solid Symmetra.
But it's like she got stealth nerfed, didn't specify it. I have an issue with that because that literally is not transparency. And you did nerf her without saying anything. To me, that is not a good choice. But also, I'm the believer that I don't care if somebody is not as strong as somebody else. I just want them to be viable. That is the whole thing. I don't care if Symmetra. I don't care. In fact, I don't even feel like Symmetra should be the strongest character ever. I just want her to at least be impactful enough that she can do great in a lot of comps and do very well in decent in higher elos than just lower elos, and then you go to higher or even an average gameplay. It's like sometimes you can't really get much value.
So viable wouldn't be the right word. Then it would be that she can have it. Then she can have a niche, is what you're asking.
Yeah, because at least May has her niche now, rather than like Overwatch 1, she was busted. It's like May has her thing, but
I don't think every character should be viable, because that would be utter fucking hell. But I think
then playing any characters that weren't viable would be not good. But like, why would you play them if you can't literally play them?
Yeah.
No, what I mean is, here's what I mean. I don't think every character should be viable in every situation. I think you need to have niches.
Like they're viable in their own situation in
like,
certain
for example,
situation.
I don't think Widow should be played on every single team and be viable whether she's in dive, brawl, or in a pick comp. I think she should just be okay. I think she should be really good in a pick comp and kind of shitty in a brawl comp, because that gives her a niche, usability, but that doesn't make her viable in every situation, because then we get into the same situation that Sojourn is in, where she's really strong because she's so viable in any situation. You can play her in any situation, and she's just okay. She's good. Similar to Soldier. That's what makes him so strong.
Kind of like how Echo used to be, honestly. Everybody was just so pissy about it.
That's why I think
because
they should have niches,
people could name,
not viability for everything. That's my opinion. What do you think, Scrap? You haven't talked to me in a while.
Normally I would be like, yeah, that's what I think about like metas and characters you have to play, characters you shouldn't play, but I feel like I'm so washed at Overwatch that my thoughts on what is good and what is not good just do not apply.
I mean, come on. You can give an opinion. Let's hear it.
I think like just taking it. Okay, first off, I don't think they should completely remove characters when they're like broken. Like I agree they should take them out of comp, but I think they should just leave them in so we can continue to play them in quick play, arcade, no limits, stuff like that. And then in terms of like what characters are good and bad and all that, and I don't know, man. I'm just a ball main. I just play Wrecking Ball, but he's D tier.
He's in a rough spot.
What do you
I think
mean?
he's getting some minor buffs.
What do you mean Ball's in D tier? He survives forever. You can't kill the motherfucker.
No, on the official Overwatch tier list wiki, he was in D tier last time I checked. He might have been moved up to C.
How?
But
the man survives one-on-ones for days.
I think it's because Sombra's meta. That's probably why.
The man survives for so long, though. You go into a group,
but okay.
You pop your shield. You can't kill him. He just gets out. He goes away. He runs.
Yeah, but everybody else dies. Everybody else dies and he's left alive. What are you gonna do?
He also has no peel. He can't peel for his teammates like Zarya and D.Va can peel.
He's not
At least Monkey has like a shield.
He's not meant to peel.
I know, but I'm just saying like every other team that like is meta right now, like Monkey, D.Va, Winston, they all can do what he does, but like 10 times better and do more damage and peel for their teammates while doing it.
So, I'm a really hard disagree here. Ball is what's called a disruptor. So Monkey can disrupt the backline, but he's a dive tank, so he can go in and then get out. Ball goes in and disrupts. I would play Ball on rush comp. You rush in.
Well, then the people
disrupts.
in my silver games don't know how to play around a Ball. Then maybe that's half my problem because I gotta play silver.
Because Ball's really good with rush comp. You just go in, disrupt the backline, kill one of the healers, get the fuck out of there, and they're so fucking confused because they're displaced now. And you go in and you swarm. You're supposed to swarm one character, and then you go one at a time.
Obviously. Yep. And see, the thing is, though, if you go up against a team that knows what to do when that happens, so you get an auto on the enemy team that knows how to sleep your fucking rolling ass. Don't get me wrong, I love Ball. I love Ball.
Counterplay.
Or they don't sleep Ball, they ignore Ball, and they kill everybody else, and Ball's just rolling around, and he gets yelled at because, Ball, what are you doing? We're all dead because of you. What are you doing? Change. And poor Ball is just like, what? I'm just vibing. I am slamming. I am rolling. I am existing. What are you doing?
I think that's a different issue entirely with the issue of, so this goes into a different issue entirely of, basic bitch tank of, tanks can function in different ways. However, what people want from tank is what they want a Reinhardt. Because what I feel people want in the tank role is they expect when you hear tank, you think Reinhardt. Big, bulky boy, large body frame, lots of health, close range threat. And
I think
that's what most people, when they think tank, they think a big, meaty shield. And when the other tanks are around that can do other things and do their job differently, they're still tanking, they're just tanking in different ways. Ball is this curious case of, like Hog can upfront tank like a Reinhardt, similar to Zarya and Orisa. Not so much D.Va. D.Va has the same issue that Ball has, where she can't really do that, but she can still be a tank. It's just that Overwatch-wise, we haven't had that many tanks like Ball. We've had a lot of tanks like Reinhardt that massive health, big body frame, stay up front, can do shit up front, maybe dive behind and kill a few people and come back, but usually are like that. Ball and D.Va are the only two tanks that I can think of that are like, I can't really stay in the front line or I'm going to get gypped. I also can't stay in their back line for too long either, else I'm going to be fucked. They have to move around a lot, which relies on your other teammates to do a lot of other flanking and disruption.
See, and that's why, that's the thing though. I'm going to make a comparison a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
So, when Overwatch 1 was going off, one of the biggest metas that was going on was Death Ball. Do you know what Death Ball is?
No, I don't, but I can guess it involves Nano.
No, it involves Ball, D.Va, your DPS is a Tracer and somebody else, and your support lineup consists of either one of the four: a Zen Brig, Ana Zen, or a Mercy Zen, something like that. Any of those. Basically, but theoretically, you want a Zen and Brig. The whole point with this comp is you're going in fast. D.Va is the pillar. And the thing is, that was what was meta there for the longest time. Because Ball went in, he disrupted, D.Va followed up, she bombed. It was what people were playing. It was one of the metas, not the only one. But see, the thing is, people got to the point where they knew what to do when it came to countering that meta. So when you just got Ball minus the D.Va, you know what to do with that. The only weakness to that comp is you kill everybody else, it just goes down. Kill the support lineup, it goes down. Ball doesn't have anything that can then the Ball can't sustain, or the DPS can't sustain.
I think I see the comparison you're trying to make.
And that's why Ball's just not.
But what I want to counter with is I think people got too used to shields. In this game,
yeah, I agree.
In this game, in Overwatch 2, it's healthy. I think it's healthy, at least. People were too used to shields, and people were too reliant on shields to make the gameplay work. That's why if you had an avid flanker like D.Va, you wouldn't be able to counter it that easy, because people were too reliant on shields. Now that the game doesn't have a lot of shields and it's much more reliant on your individual skill as a player, I think Death Ball could still work again. You just need to have, in my opinion, you could probably do a Ball, a Reaper, Tracer, and a Lucio Brig, and you all flank. You all go and you flank and you kill them one by one, weeding them out and basically making yourself a shitstorm.
Well, honestly, it's very close to what one of the rush comps is, which is Monkey, Sojourn, Reaper, Kiriko, and Lucio. You all go in, you stay together, and you just fuck shit up. Theoretically, it can probably work with a Ball instead of a Monkey, but same theory, same principle.
Well, I'm saying with Ball, you would have the Ball go in, disrupt, Reaper goes somewhere else, Tracer flanks, and Lucio stays with either the Ball and kind of switches back between the Ball and the other people, staying on speed and heals, and Brig does her own thing with the Tracer.
Yeah, Brig can't keep up with the Tracer, though. There's no point in keeping the Brig with the Tracer.
Or Brig goes with the Reaper.
I would say...
That'd be fucking awful to deal with.
Do Kiriko and Lucio. Because Kiriko can dash to whoever.
A lot of survivability.
Either way, the idea is you're playing around Ball shitstorm, where he disrupts, runs away, someone takes a kill, you run away. Well, how the fuck are you supposed to counter? You got to take in short, small engagements, guerrilla warfare. And I think, again, Overwatch 2 really, really, really emphasizes individual play, but also getting kills. It really incentivizes using your abilities to get kills and disrupt the enemy. If you stay together, you can get shit done, but if someone strays a bit too far, they will die. They will just die if you don't perform your role correctly. And I think Ball should thrive in this place. I just think it's a player issue, not a character issue.
Yeah, I totally get that. But that was also why I was also saying another thing there.
Do you wish to say it?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Some people do know how to counter Ball comps.
Oh, okay.
That was what I was trying to say, because there was a Ball comp was, whatever, they're used to Ball comps, they know how to counter a Ball comp. That was the short version of what I was trying to say.
I do think though that Ball does get outshined by D.Va and Winston, because they can do what they can do what he can do, but just better, just because they are more annoying to deal with. But joke's on y'all. In Overwatch 1 and now, I still find shield characters boring. So I played non-shield.
I love
Reinhardt.
I love
D.Va, let's go.
I love D.Va. For me, I think Reinhardt's gameplay to me is just a bit boring. It's just a bit boring.
Well,
not engaging enough for me.
What I've learned is, don't use your shield for your teammates. Make it selfish. Use it for yourself and survivability.
Same with Zarya's bubbles.
And
don't use your bubble to protect people. Just get charged with it.
Yeah, and then you
charge.
can mow people down.
Literally, just use it. Just use it for yourself. Use Sigma's shield to block things for yourself. Because your team can play around rocks and shelter and shit, and as long as they stay behind you or don't poke too fast.
In theory, they can play around cover.
In theory.
I was doing so well with my placements. I thought I was gonna place plat because that's where I was in my other role, support, and that's where I was when I ended Overwatch 1. And then when I had one more game to win, I took a 2-week break from Overwatch, came back, lost 7 or 8 games in a row. Placed silver 1, but still silver, and now I'm struggling to get out, and I don't want to be the person that's like, it's my teammates' fault.
I'm glad we've gone...
I'm kind of washed, but my god, the amount of times I'll be doing stuff as tank, and then my entire team is dead, and I'm like, bruh? So I'm like, regroup team, but instead of regrouping, they just run out, spawn one by one, and die. And I'm like, let's stay and spawn and regroup, and they just keep running out of spawn one by one, and I'm like,
but I'm glad we've gone away from the Orisa holds at a corner, puts a shield down, sits there and behind the shield. I'm glad we moved away from that, and shield has become, I use this as a selfish way to survive because I don't trust anyone. And when using it in that way, it's very helpful. And Ryan can be a sometimes complete fucking menace, as you can go up in their faces and just swing, kill, swing, kill, swing, kill.
I don't like it when I'm taking and the enemy team has a Rhine. This is the thing that pisses me off the fucking most. They're just, my team is like, we need a Rhine to out-Rhine their Rhine. I'm like, no the fuck we don't. Kill his fucking supports and he can't survive. He's thinking his fucking brains out.
Better
He's
yet,
a
switch
ass
to Orisa. Strike him with your spear so
Yep.
you can't put a shield up and just mow him down.
Orisa's always been a good Ryan counter.
Or,
well, in my opinion.
I mean, you can also counter Ryan with Orisa with just better skill, but it's harder. It's the same thing with Junker Queen. Ryan's a counter to Junker Queen. Could you counter him the other way? I guess. But he'll always win out over you because he can just put up a shield, ignore you, and then swing and kill you.
I think D.Va could do way more against Orion just because her damage output got increased.
That is true.
D.Va is
and then also, she's always good to take out supports anyways because she can get away with it pretty easily. So
D.Va is a Ryan counter. Monkey's not a Ryan counter, though. Even though Monkey can shoot through the shield, Ryan just swings and he dies.
Yep.
I would say that... What is it, Fuck. Sigma is not a Ryan counter. Well, he's kind of neutral. He's neutral with Ryan. Ryan's neutral with Sigma. They don't really counter each other. They just kind of like dance around each other. Sigma can be far enough away, but Ryan can't really approach, and Sigma can't really approach the Ryans. They kind of just dance, monkey dance.
Yeah, Sig has the potential to interrupt his charge, to block his shatter, but at the same time, if Ryan gets close, he's kind of fucked. Which means he requires the help of his teammates. I think Sig is the better choice there, but that is just me, because I think Sigma is just a better tank than what Ryan is right now.
In my opinion, Reinhardt, a lot of people don't expect Reinhardt to just push forward. Just push forward and fucking kill.
Just walk the enemy team, yeah.
Like, my favorite thing to do is when the hog hooks you to shoot you, you charge into him and slam him into a wall and just keep bullying him into a corner. Oh, it's so great. But I will say, going back to you, Scrap, the reason, if you don't know, Mei was taken out because there was a bug with Kiriko.
Her wall was bugged.
Where you could... It was a glitch with Kiriko. Kiriko, if you put Mei's wall in a corner and someone stood on top of it, you could glitch them out of bounds.
Oh yeah, and then you could be under like the map and other stuff.
And because
too,
you're out
and
of
then
bounds,
infinitely
no one can kill you. But they did it specifically with Kiriko or Ana. So basically, Ana's sitting in the corner, but you can't hit the Ana, and she can heal her teammates forever, and she can't die.
I do know it's kind of similar to.
Whole map.
I think Kiriko's all kind of busted some things because I saw a TikTok where Brigitte has a glitch she can do in Kiriko's ult, where if Kiriko ults and Brigitte's in it, and it's up all the way, and the shield goes down, and because the cooldown's quicker, so the shield will come back quicker, just slightly. And if you pull it up the second it's like at 1, it cannot break. Like I saw a glitch, it will not break while she's in ult. I think you can cancel it, and it'll get rid of it, but you can't shield bash or anything while it's up, while it's glitched. So basically, her shield stays up forever. It can't be broken after the glitch has been done. The only way to deactivate it, I think, is to either die or let go. But
that is a funny bug, but that's also a hard bug to pull off.
True, but like it's with a Kiriko ult, so like if you have like timing and stuff, you could do that. But I mean, is it practical? No, but it's kind of funny. But like people are like, bye bye Brig, because her shield has a glitch.
Has anyone noticed that Bastion is now meta now? That Bastion Mercy is now meta?
Oh yeah.
With damage boost?
Yeah, anytime there's a Bastion, I will damage boost them. I will.
It's scary. Bastion Nano is scary with... Oh my god. It's just... Especially if you have like Kiriko ult and he goes in it, it's just dump. You just shitstorm, dump it down the hallway.
Dude, I have not experienced the Kiriko being in a Kiriko ult as like a DPS, and I went in as Bastion and Pharah and fucking Reaper, and I think I scared myself a little bit because I didn't expect to be like with Reaper. I'm like, what the fuck?
I did see a funny meme though with an Overwatch meme, and it's somebody like with a complete shocked face, and it was captioned "Doomfist mains when they realize Bastion's all it is theirs but 3." I just giggled. I'm like, damn, Doomfist mains just can't win. They
Yeah.
just can't win.
I know, right? Poor
It's so funny.
Doomfishes.
It's so funny. I know he's getting buffed, but it's just like
Well,
funny. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Bastion's all
they're
is
scared.
his, but 3.
Ball's in a similar situation with Doomfist. I think they're scared to buff him because you don't want to buff Ball too much. Otherwise, Ball becomes an annoying piece of shit that can't die and can get a shit ton of kills in a team wipe. Like,
remove the fucking cooldown on his grapple so it doesn't release.
They
Fuck
did.
that shit.
They did though. It's on a
No,
cooldown.
no. Remove the cooldown.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't think they want to buff him again because then he becomes a spam bot that sits on point forever and you got to hook him off it. But now because Ball had the passive so that when he's at full charge, doesn't matter if you hook him, the hook deflects. If he's at full rolling speed, you can't hook him, you can't disrupt him in any way if he's at full charge.
Yeah, that makes sense because he's going fast.
But what I'm saying is if they didn't have the hook anymore, then you could just spin infinitely at full speed and you wouldn't be able to stop him unless you did enough damage to kill him.
But it's on a push map.
I guess. But like, well, all I'm saying is I think they're scared to buff Ball because they don't want to get Ball back to OG Ball in Overwatch 1 where he was just annoying and would never...
It's a shame that I never got to main Ball while he was like really, really good.
The same thing
I
is
picked
with
him up
Doomfist.
in the season after he got nerfed.
I don't think they want to buff Doomfist into being a damage dealer again because that's how everyone keeps playing him and he dies all the time because people keep playing him like Overwatch 1 Doomfist, which won't work anymore, by the way. He doesn't do enough damage for that. I think, honestly, in the tank role, I don't mind him in the tank role. I think he suits it a lot. High mobility tank, I have no qualms with that because Ball's already high mobility tank. It's proven to work. But what I think they need to do is make his punch and his slam a damage ability, not a movement map ability. Because he has a lot of movement on the maps, but he doesn't have a lot of actual I can do shit in the map.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, oh, mobility,
like
survivability.
Like when his slam slowed you down, I think that was good because that gave him a window opportunity to punch you. Because when you go into your slam now, your punch, yeah, you get a whole charge more, and it goes a lot further now, but that also means it takes 4 seconds to do a full charge. 4 seconds. That's too fucking long to do a full charge. You'll die before you do a full charge. Even if, like, one top player, I think Flat said it bestly, is, can you kill people with Doomfist? Yes, but you'll put in 4 times the amount of work. You'll put in 4 times the amount of work, the same thing the Ball gets by dropping on one of their supports and then bashing a bullet storm into their face. Where Doomfist has to pull off a fucking Street Fighter combo to get 1 kill. And then now doesn't have a movement option to get out. Now, do you think the game and I said this opinion a while ago, but do you think the game feels like an early access title?
Yes.
Yep.
Like that it came out in early access and that we're just waiting for the game to be complete?
Because Overwatch has been out for so long. Not really.
Overwatch 2.
I know, just like the Overwatch 2 is just Overwatch 1, like but like what a normal game would be like an update for another game. So
but I'm saying the changes. Does it feel like this game is in a early access stage?
I guess in the sense of that, like the characters that keep breaking. No.
I personally think that it does feel more early access just because we're not getting the full Overwatch 2 experience yet because they're like, hey, here's the PvP. We're still working on PvE, so a portion of the game that we're, hyping up, you can't play it yet. So here's just Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2 edition. Basically is what it feels like. Just it's this almost the same, just 1 less tank, and I'm not getting as much, like there's not much to go off of. It just feels like, hey, we're just kind of playing right now, seeing how the new changes are before we get the full experience.
Fair enough. I think one of the things that really doesn't help with that is, so while the changes that Overwatch gets now from Blizzard is much faster than Overwatch 1, I will commend them for that. They're coming out way too late still, though. They're much more communicative in what they're telling us they're changing, but they come out so slowly. Like the mid-season patch, it's coming out sometime this week, but like that mid-season patch was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago. It's like, so they'll announce it like 3 weeks in advance that this is coming out, but it's not going to come out until 3 weeks after the announcement.
Yep.
And it's like, why even announce it then? Why even tell us?
Yeah, I did say to my coworker who also plays Overwatch 2, and they were like, I had said this, and it was, I think saying, I understand why they want to save changes for end of season because they want data. I get it. I understand they want to see how actually everybody's performing. I get it. But at the same time, when the community's like, hey, Sombra's a problem, Sojourn's a problem, Zarya's busted, like, they're not touching until next season. And it's like, as much as I found Genji annoying, I think Sojourn should have been nerfed first. But anyways, that's just conjecture. But it's the fact, like, hey, the community's saying these specific characters are really annoying, and they're really a problem right now. Can you do something?
There's a reason for that.
I know they
want to give every season its own feel.
Which is, it's like, but the community's like, hey, these characters are problems. Can we get fixes for these pretty please soon? And they're like, they originally were like, it's supposed to be for like the end of the season. Everybody's like, that's really bad, because why do I have to deal for a whole couple months of characters that are busted and you see every game? That to me is not fun. I don't want to play. I'm happy they decided to go with some quick fixes or quick things that they would like to add to make them a bit more balanced. But it's still the fact that they had that idea in mind and were trying to execute that, and they vocalized that, made me not very excited for the future when it comes to balancing.
Where it's, hey, we're only doing this because we want each season to have a feel. Hope you enjoy.
And it's like, great. I have gray hairs and I'm almost bald. Like, I'm pulling out my hair and about to just cry for hours because I keep getting targeted by a Sombra who can't die.
And nobody knows how to look at the Sombra.
Nope. People, especially, I think even, people just don't have game awareness.
Yeah, and your tank just completely ignores you, saying, because when you say Sombra in the back,
support gap.
Like if you're saying, I don't know.
I think that's a issue with the call out, because people say Sombra in the back. Well, where in the back? She can be behind us.
If you're support, if you know your support,
I've had that same issue where it's like my support will call out to me as a tank, like Sombra in the back. I'm like, but where in the back? Is she behind me? Is she behind you? Is she on you right now? Did you see her?
Well, 9 times out of 10, if you can't hear the fucking Sombra, and you know it's your support that's calling it out, chances are the Sombra is going for the support. I like, from a support point of view, as a support main, if your support is saying Sombra in the back, they may not have time to actually get out Sombra on me. They're trying to let people know in advance, Sombra in the back. They're not on me yet, but please be aware, she is going to dive us. It is the shortened version of heads up, Sombra's flanking.
I just think there should be some better call-outs.
And there can be, but the thing is, there's been times that I have said, Sombra on your Ana. You know where your Ana is, and nobody turns and looks.
That's a bronze and silver issue. In general.
I'm sorry, excuse me. It's a bronze, silver, gold, plat, and diamond issue. And then the tank pushes in.
It's just an issue.
Yes, it is an issue. It's not just a low elo, because after a certain point, when your support says Sombra on me, it doesn't necessarily mean turn around. It means hold on, I can't heal you for when you charge in there full Hail Mary. Let's kill this bitch, then we can go.
I feel like there's definitely been a problem with, not a problem. There's been a lot of new people coming into the player base, so there's a lot of new players now. And I literally see TikToks of people being like, I don't know who this purple hair lady is, but whenever I shoot her bubble, she gets high damage. And it's interesting because they're like learning the game for the first time, but like they're not dumb, like they're not bad. Like a lot of them come from other first-person shooter games, so like they have good aim and stuff, better than me for sure. So like, it's not even a problem with like new players or something like that. It literally is just an issue with like people not being able to counter Sombra. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean the main things for Sombra is to just if somebody calls her out or you see her, dive her to make her translocate and get away from the team, or play a character that necessarily is not as easily counterable, like Soldier.
I go Sombra to counter Sombra. I will literally go Sombra to
you could, if you're playing tank, you can play Zarya, because if you bubble yourself, well, you can't get hacked. Or just anybody that, like Hanzo, or like Hanzo could Diva
Torb,
even. Torb, like people
Torb,
like
Pharah, Junkrat, Reaper.
It's like Sombra can be countered. It's just people A don't know how to, but also B, she can do so much damage quickly too that makes her an issue. That she's like, oh, she can kill somebody real quick and disappear with a almost a get out of jail free card.
And it's at this point that you want to stay grouped up. You do not want to go away from your supports and leave your Ana in the back, because when you leave your Zen and Ana, they're just ripe for the picking. I'm sorry to say, but if they're left on their own and everybody is spaced out, being tightly grouped up when you know the enemy team has a Sombra, she can try to hack somebody, but everybody turns, looks at her, kills her, and denies her that kill. Sure, she might have gotten the hack off, but you killed her. You denied her killing your Zen, your Ana, your Mercy, whoever. And that is still big. Even if you don't kill her, you don't want her to kill whoever she's trying to kill, because right now, she can get it off in like a snap of the fingers. It's just that quick. And you don't want her to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately for supports right now, at the current moment, you unfortunately have to play characters that can peel for themselves, because half the time your teammates will not help you, even if you call it out. So I'm forced to go Moira or Brig half the time, because I need to peel for myself, because if nobody's going to do it, I have to do it for myself. And it's like, those are decent picks, but it's like, it just sucks sometimes because I want to play this one character, but I can't because I'm dying too much, or I can't get heals because I am getting targeted by like a Genji or a Sombra. So it's like I have to play characters that can survive, because now with one less tank, DPS have to do better job, peeling for the supports, and protecting them. And most of the time they're not. I have some great DPS that I love with my heart because they are amazing, but some people I play with, most people I play with, are not the best at protecting support. So sometimes you do have to do it yourself, which is what sucks, that you're forced to switch because you have to survive. And that's what kind of sucks. Because flankers are really good right now, because with one less tank, one less person to peel, that flankers can do a lot, which is great. But sometimes it feels bad when you're support and you're playing Ana or Zen, and it's like you can't do much.
However,
so you have to pick characters that have survivability.
Sometimes your DPS can't peel for a support. I will say.
Then maybe they should stick with the support.
In my opinion, this is my opinion, I think moving away from the Overwatch 1 setting of DPS, here's your job of do damage and peel, and tank need to peel and all this, giving the support the ability to have more survival, I think, is the better option.
Yeah, and like the entire off support's job is just heal the main support, like nobody else.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think giving support the ability to survive longer is a better idea than just saying DPS peel for me, because it makes it so you can take it into your own hands and do shit for yourself. So you could run so you could do a more diverse comp. But
and we do survive longer. See, that's the thing.
But I mean, like Zen, for example, got his kick. That gives him longer survivability. Mercy got a faster dash, which makes it really easier.
It's not going to do much when you're hacked. My point here is, say you've got a Sombra. Say you've got a coordinated DPS duo that's coming at you. You got a Sombra and a Genji, or a Sombra and a Reaper, a Sombra, Pharah, whatever. Who cares? Don't care. My point is, it's a coordinated attack that's going for you as a support. Sure, you have that survivability there for a longest time, But that is only going to last so long. So if your supports call out, hey, I'm being targeted, I'm being hard targeted, that is, at that point, the team's job and duty to turn around and help the supports deal with whatever is targeting them. Because if your Ana can't get her sleeps off or her nades off, or your Zen can't kick, because if he's hacked, okay, well, whatever. He's hacked, he's going to die quick because he's got 2 DPSs, killing him. Even if it's not just a Sombra. Because I have run across this, and it is the most annoying thing. You will get coordinated attempts at your backline like this. And what people don't understand is, supports need to start stepping up and killing shit that is killing them. And they can to a point, but when you've got more than one person going for you, and you've got a rando support that's just blah, 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 flying mercy over on the other side of the fucking map.
Or Moira that just is holding left click the whole time.
Yeah,
or whatever her damage is.
Yeah, you are up shit's creek. So, whatever role you have, if you see that your main source of support, whether it's heals, CC, sleeps, I don't care what the fuck it is. If you see your main source of support is getting hard targeted, I don't care if you're tank or DPS, and you see 2 people on the enemy team just targeting them hardcore and nobody else is helping them, you go and fucking help them.
I don't think that should be the tank's job, though. I don't think that should be the tank's job. Simply,
it should be.
I don't think so. No. I think I see a lot of people, and I play a lot of Reinhardt, so I know this. A lot of people dog shit on Reinhardt for not peeling for support, and it's like, what the fuck?
It's not his job. I do get that. I do understand that. It's at the end of the day, it's not his job. But if your DPS isn't doing it, and you know that your DPS is not going to do it, you see your Ana die.
This is why I like open queue, so we don't run into these issues.
Open queue is just all tanks. If I have more tank friends, I would play only open queue because I want to play tanks.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it with randos who will just be like, oh yes, a Widowmaker and a Sombra and a Hanzo will be great against 4 tanks and Moira.
Yeah.
Honestly, honestly, 4 DPS comp though is good. What were you gonna say, Mira?
No.
Tell me.
Yep, open queue is fun.
Mira, what
I
were
like
you
open
say?
queue. I play.
Mira?
I said open queue is fun.
Oh.
It's good and relaxing.
I do think, though, however, yes, I think supports should at some point all have a better survivability, or the ones that don't have a better version to, or something to make them survive more. But at the current moment, in the current state, at this point in time, it is more so it's more so DPS's job to peel for supports, and then also supports, unfortunately, at times will have to switch to save themselves, which sucks.
I just got steamed ham references from what you were saying. At this time of day, at this time of hour, at this month of this year, all contained inside your kitchen right now. Yes.
But yeah, at this current moment, DPS are the ones that have to more so peel now, than tanks will now. But that also means that your DPS have to be good in order for them to peel effectively. And if they aren't good, well, unfortunately, you have to switch to somebody who can survive and peel for themselves, because it just kind of sucks at the end of the day for that. But that's just the state of Overwatch 2 at the moment for supports.
So now being 3 weeks into the game, how do you guys feel about progression? We're down.
I feel like it's
we're down all of October.
I feel like I just play to climb.
Yeah.
We're done all of October, and we're done with 1 week into November. How do you guys feel about the progression system?
I think it's fine. I've been progressing normally.
Would you want a longer battle pass, like 100 normal tiers, or like 150 normal tiers instead of 80?
Maybe, just to add a bit more variety, I would be okay because how long are the battle passes going to be from this point forward?
80 tiers.
It's 3 months.
With 3 months total. 80 tiers are normal, and then prestige is up to 200.
I would be okay if they added a few more, they're going to add it that much, at least to add more content and stuff. Because, I mainly play support. Nobody plays support. Queue times are less than a minute. I get 500 XP, extra XP.
Yep.
and on top of the dailies and weeklies and all the other challenges, I think I can climb pretty fast. So I honestly would be okay if they added a bit more.
I want more
Just
comp
as long
points.
as they have, just as long as their challenges add enough experience to be worth to go for them, and then just constantly
I
just
want more
cycle
comp
them and
points.
stuff.
You get 15.
I do too.
You get 15 comp points every game, whether you win or lose. What the fuck?
I wish I
The
knew what the formula
only-
was for determining rank.
The only thing I don't understand, and this is weird to me, it feels backwards when I look at the weekly challenges, and if you complete 4 weekly challenges, you get 30 coins.
Yeah,
but if you complete 8, you get 20.
We talked about that before. Where
okay,
we talked about that in a previous podcast, where you get less coins the more challenges you complete. Why?
yeah, it feels backwards. It should be the other way around. I don't know why they did that. I hope they fix that, because I looked, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Like, it should be because then at least if you're doing the challenges, you're getting XP and like you're working towards to getting more coins. Like, it just feels
I
backwards
wish
when I see
dailies
that.
gave you coins.
I wish that too. At least even if it was a small amount, I would be okay with something. But no, I think progression honestly is not that bad. It honestly feels fine. I would honestly be okay if they had more tiers and stuff to the battle pass so I can have more content.
Well, I was reading some Reddit posts about it, and someone said they want a Fortnite battle pass similar to this, where it has like 300 tiers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be disgusting.
I think it would be too.
But
Especially
I also heard something else I liked.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would do something similar to what Halo does, where if you buy a battle pass, you can just keep the battle pass until you finish it.
I would be okay with that too.
The battle passes, while they're in season, you get like an experience boost for them, but you can complete them out of the season. You can complete season 1, and you can buy season 1 battle pass and complete it at any time you want. I think that would give a lot of content to newer players coming into the game way later on, but also give people like us to grind out the battle pass if we wanted to.
Yeah, because then I feel like the newer players don't feel like sad because they can't get a skin because it was in a battle pass and it's not coming back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that sucks for anybody who does a free to play game or like something like that where there's a skin that they really want and it's really cool, but you can't get it because it was in a battle pass or it was an event thing and you can't get it anymore. And you're like, well, damn, I want that skin. I feel like if they had it where you can get the battle pass at any point after the season ends, it'd be fine because then you're like, oh, I want that skin. Let me buy that battle pass and just level up in it. And I think that would be fine.
Scrap, what do you think?
I've just been progressing by trying to climb in comp. I kind of got back into it in the last couple days after saying I hate this game. I'm quitting forever, like a week ago. For the battle pass, I don't think I'm gonna finish it in time. I just like am not even halfway through it yet, and I'm just like,
play open.
I don't know.
Queue.
It just doesn't feel.
Play
I
open.
could do that.
You can if you play open queue comp, you get an experience boost for playing comp. You get an experience boost for completing challenges. And if you do it in a group, you get also an experience boost on top of that. But if you also... The reason I say open queue is because open queue is a little stupid right now. And when I say stupid, I mean it in a good way. You can level up your tank role in open queue if you only play tank that round. And if you win the game, it goes towards your tank role instead of your open queue
I've
role.
noticed that.
Or if you play tank and support, it only goes to your open queue. So you can... You could rank up your tank, and then rank up your support, and then rank up your DPS while playing open queue, and then rank up your open queue when you're ready. It's just... That's like maximize efficiency. Power gaming. However, now I want to know each of the game modes, so we'll start off with Quickplay. How do you guys feel about Quickplay?
Fine.
It's okay. A lot less play than comp, which is kind of nice.
I've heard people... What about you, Mira?
I just... If I'm playing DPS, I go somber and just spam, ooh, this one has teeth, rawr, in the back line, and that's all I do. and just make them scared.
I've heard people say that comp feels like quick play, and quick play is useless.
I think I feel like at times it does feel like quick play because I feel like when I play a comp game and I get the most like they have to be bots level players because they're that bad that I feel like I'm playing quick play. It genuinely feels like that. And then like it feels like the team's being like extra good and sweaty, but I'm like they're probably not. It's probably just my teammates are so bad that it feels like I'm getting wrecked harder than I actually am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, there was okay, look, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were new people. But I swear to God, there was this Moira. It was this Kiriko and this Mercy on the enemy team on Esperanza. So I remember this because it was like the map that we never get, but it was like, the shiny holy grail of the maps. And I remember this because for some god-awful reason, the Mercy had like 300 in healing, and the Kiriko had like 200 and something, and like 200 in damage. But it was a long match. It wasn't a short match. It was a long match. I had about 11k is on it, but the Mercy had, I don't know what was going on. I think they were new. There at one point the Mercy was running around in a circle on the enemy team, not mine, enemy team. The Kiriko teleported to her, and they both started running around in the circle, and then I don't know what was going on. Like, were they high?
Ritualistic summoning of Jeff Kaplan.
Something like that. I think
it was the sacrifice.
Sacrifice the diva in the middle of the circle. Bring back Jeff Kaplan to the team.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
I just was appalled.
I do think
that comp sometimes does feel like quick play. I think quick play, I like quick play just because I'm like, hey, like, I don't feel like I have to sweat my butt off just to get my last win after I had lost like 10 games in a row. Because I feel like a losers and winners queue is like a thing. I don't know why. I just feel like it is at times. Like, well, it's just like you have a good streak and then it goes downhill. And I'm like, I'd rather just play quick play and literally just pick, like, I don't know, like, Far or something and just be, haha, I'm flying, pew, pew.
I think the issue that people are having is that with comp, you get 15 comp points no matter what. So you're getting rewarded a little bit. Quick play, nothing happens. You play a game, it's over in 3 minutes and you're done. You don't get any extra experience. In Overwatch 1, if you played quick play, you got extra experience towards leveling up. In comp, you got, SR for golden guns.
Hold on. You are getting stuff. Like, you are leveling up your achievements, which is also leveling up your battle pass, which is the same thing as...
But you can do the same thing in comp, though. That's what I think people are coming to, is that it used to be, I have an EXP bonus for playing quick play that isn't in comp. Comp gives me SR. There's two different things here. I can either level up really easy in quick play or go play comp, or I can get, stuff from arcade mode. Now it's quick play doesn't give me anything. Arcade mode is for fun times and the occasional splurge, and comp gives me points for a golden gun. And since comp gives me points for a golden gun, I think that's why I've encountered this a lot with Fear. I get people that don't know how to play shit. That just don't know how to play anything. I ran into a person that was like, I'm going to pick Hanzo. I'm really new to the game. They didn't know how to play. They didn't know how to play Baptiste. I had to give them a crash course on how to play Baptiste. It was awful.
I kind of feel bad for the newbies. I really feel bad for the new guys because I think...
I don't.
No, I do. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, the new people that's coming over, I've experienced people just being downright dicks. Like, and there's a difference between being a dick.
In this game, people either ass or they don't talk.
Yeah, and like at one point, like, I think someone was new.
Sometimes.
No, well, no, they don't. Nobody deserves to be told they should go kill themselves. cactus.
I didn't mean that. You took my words out of context.
But I wasn't able to explain. I was getting to that point, and I didn't get to the point where I was getting to that. Like, sometimes, like, if they're not doing their job, you know, hey, what are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? Is different than, you know, hey, you suck, go KYS.
I didn't mean it like that. Again, you didn't finish, but
yeah, it's okay.
I don't want anyone to go kill themselves. I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying...
I know that's not what you meant.
Okay, well, I'm saying it for the
An
podcast.
example of the differences between this game and other games is like in Apex, which I've been playing a lot of recently. Everyone's super nice.
Ew.
Even when I feed and die, everyone's like, no, it's okay, we'll res you, like, we got this. And when I talk, people talk back, even if it's just saying, like, hello, or what's up, or like, yeah, we're gonna do great.
Yeah.
Whereas in this game, when I talk, no one talks back, and usually they're rude.
I've been told to join the like VC would like help with like call outs and other stuff and like communication. I'm like, nobody talks. And then if I do, it's something discriminatory when I hear it coming out of some dude's mouth, and I'm like, why do I want to be here? Because this is not fun, and nobody says anything.
I think the reason people shit on new players so much though is because new players are a pain in the ass sometimes. Like, I'll be playing Quickplay, and there'll be a new player, and he'll be spewing bullshit as if he's played for years, but he's brand new. Or I'll encounter a person who's playing comp for the first time, doesn't know how to play anyone, barely knew how to play anyone in their Quickplay games, because they don't have to win them, they just have to play them. And that's fucking infuriating.
Yeah, it can be. I get that. But, like, think of what role they're doing.
Again, I'm not saying they should go kill themselves. That's not what I meant beforehand.
No,
but I think
that's not...
in my opinion, I think new players, sometimes they deserve to get shit on. And sometimes they deserve to get talked down to. Because if, for example, you go into comp and you don't know how to play anything, don't go into comp.
Yeah, and you're right. You know, at the end of the day, you are right. Don't go into comp if you don't know how to play comp. But then again, there they are. And at the end of the day, it's up to you whether you can be like, all right, you're playing BAP. Okay, your right click is to blah blah, your left click is to blah, and if you push E for a second, yep, that's going to prevent people from dying. Your shift...
I know what you're saying, but when you encounter that playstyle every single time that you're trying to play for well, not every single time, that's hyperbole, but when you're encountering it, like, for 60% of your games, more than half, or a little more than half, you're always encountering someone who's like, I don't know how to play this character, I don't know how to play this role, I don't know how to do this or do that. It's like, why are you in comp? And now, while you're trying to do your job, you're trying to explain how to do their job, and they're trying to grasp it on the fly, and it's not going to be a fun time. You've essentially thrown that role out the window, and that's infuriating. I
can definitely understand the frustration. I can.
It's like, say, it's like your tank it's like, especially in this game, where like tank and support, if you have a bad support, you're fucked. If you have a bad tank, you're even stronger fucked.
Yes, I do agree, and it is frustrating, but you do have to understand that with the exception of new players who think they've been playing the game for years when they haven't, yes, they deserve to be humbled a bit. However, you do have to understand that new players, like, if you are shit-talking them when they're just trying to play, I get it. Like, they're in comp, they shouldn't be in comp if they don't know how to play anything, but who told them not to be in comp until they know how to play? Nobody really, unless they're looking up videos and stuff, but sometimes some people don't do that. They just play to play, so nobody's telling them that they should probably get used to characters before they do comp. Nobody's telling them that.
I think it's basic common sense, though. Like, the game makes it pretty... The game, Overwatch 2, makes it very clear this game requires teamwork. It makes it very clear when you're playing your game, you have to unlock your characters. Each challenge really encourages you to play with your team and encourages you to play a certain way that even if you're playing at shit tier basic level, you're still doing your job as a tank, a DPS, and a support. That's how you unlock characters. That's how you unlock the characters through the challenges, playing as them and with your team. So after you've unlocked all the characters and you get into competitive, and it hasn't gotten through your skull yet that you need to play as a team or you need to know how to play them, that's their fault. That is their fault, and they deserve to be, in my opinion, they deserved the shit that comes to them, because
See, yeah, I do agree. To a certain point, I do agree.
Because
But there's been times where there's people that's afraid to talk, they're afraid to communicate, they're afraid to say anything. At one point during one match, I was playing Brig, and I said, "Okay, guys, stay grouped up, stay with me, stay on the payload," you know. And I was making call-outs. I took it upon myself because Tank wasn't comfortable making call-outs, so I started shot calling. I started doing all that.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, you can do the basic job of your role and not have to do call-outs or any of that and still function. I'm okay with that. I've had new players come in the game and they do the basic job of a Reinhardt or they do the basic job of a Diva. They're kind of bad. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but they're functioning as a tank. They're doing their job as a tank. That I can work with. I can work with that because then I know what I needed to do. And at a basic fundamental level, without any communication or no one talking, if you all do your basic job of DPS kills DPS, tank supports his teamer, tries to block, doesn't overextend, that sort of thing, the basic building blocks, you'll have a rudimentary functioning team.
I think
it won't be amazing, but it'll be rudimentary. However, when you have specifically a person who had you unlock all the characters, do all the challenges, now knowing how all the characters function and play and are, and you have them come into comp verbally saying or saying overall, I don't know how to play this character, I don't know how they work, after they went through all the character challenges and did a bunch of time in Quickplay, because you got to spend at least 5 hours to get every single win to get into comp, or 9 to 10 hours to unlock all the characters. If you come into competitive saying, I don't know how to play this character, common sense 1 tells you you shouldn't play that character, but even if they're new players, completely new, don't have the common sense like that, the game still tells you pretty adamantly you're going to need to know this character and you're going to be able to play as a team, and if you can't do that, don't play comp. That's what angers me, though, is that you'll have people that completely ignore all of that, come into here expecting someone to give them a rush tutorial on something and for it to still work out and have them win, and then they get mad that they lost. And then you're mad you lost because it was out of your control. You didn't do anything wrong here. You're essentially been given essentially it's a throw game at that point if you have a tank that doesn't know how to play tank.
I am going to be honest.
Go for it.
And say that that's a little bit too harsh for new players, because although it is frustrating and you do make good points, at the same time, some people's first FPS game is Overwatch.
That was me.
Some people don't know any type of game sense yet, and they have to learn that through experience. I do think that new players should take a longer time to actually play get into comp. That I personally agree that it should be longer.
15 hours
but that is minimum. But that is a Blizzard fault. That's a Blizzard mistake. They need to fix that, adjust for that. Some people's first game is Overwatch. To have that saying, if you have to say basically to new players that are starting to get into FPS and Overwatch of all games, and tell them that if they don't got game sense, then they shouldn't be in comp, to new players who don't understand much about FPS games and competitive scene, that's a little bit too much to hold to a new player. And at the same time, that to me, they suck, but to me, if I know they're bad, if I know they're bad, whatever, GG, move on to the next, whatever. You'll get new players. If you don't like them that much, avoid teammate.
It's not even that, though, because, bad game sense, that's an issue across the board of all of Overwatch. People struggle with that issue all the time, but even with bad game sense, you still learn the character. I am specifically talking about a new person who joins and specifically doesn't know a single thing about the character, doesn't know what any of the abilities do, even though they had to play them to get here. That annoys the fuck out of me. It's like, why do I have to give you a tutorial to play this character?
I do get that. I do understand where you're coming from. See, I think where I stand from, this was my first FPS game. And as any of you know, people are dicks, people are toxic, people are cruel, and people are mean. I was lucky enough to meet a couple of people that when I told them this was my first FPS, I have never played an FPS before. They were nice enough to tell me how the characters that I like to play, how they worked, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And they would play with me. And they would tell me, "Hey, don't do that. That's too dangerous for you. You play your life." You know, I was learning Mercy because I first started learning Tracer and Reaper, and then I went to Mercy. And they said, "Play your life. You do not sacrifice yourself for someone else.
But
You
I mean,
are whatever."
So
they
like,
were
even just using Mercy as your example here, one of because you have to unlock character challenges for that character in
I
order
get
to
that.
play them in comp or whatever. It's like Mercy, for example. Mercy
Well, where's
specific.
BAP?
So like,
Where's BAP on the thing to unlock? That's my question. You said that the person was with BAP, right? I don't know how far.
BAP's challenge. Here's BAP's challenges. Okay, to unlock BAP, you have to place down your immortal. So it says one of the challenges: place down 5 immortals, and in that immortal, have it block damage for people on your team. One of his other thing is you have to heal X amount of heals. I think it was like 15,000 heals healed his BAP.
Yep.
And then his other one was do 8,000 damage. And then his final one was use your jump ability X amount of times. Like, these are they're all challenges.
Those are very basic.
Those are all very basic, yes, but they also teach you already how to
but
get the
they're
fundamentals.
also in Quickplay. But they're also in Quickplay.
But
in Quickplay, if you make a mistake, it's not going to be as detrimental as comp.
Again, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying here of, yes, they're the fundamentals. I am only specifically talking about new players that jump into competitive and ask people or do not know how to play a character at its basic fundamental level, don't know how to play that character, and are asking people to teach them in that game, or are playing characters they have no idea how to play. That doesn't help anyone.
That is true, but I think to be a bit mature about it, saying, hey, it would probably be better if you played somebody you did know how to play,
I don't shit off
and
them
then
off the bat.
learn, and then Google and look up how to play it rather than ask somebody who is just trying to win at that point and doesn't want to do it. It would be kindly and maturely tell them to, hey, we don't want to do that. Just play who you know how to play and learn how to play that character in quick play. If they don't, well, that sucks. It's just GG next. Avoid them. It's just as simple as being as mature as that.
I understand what you're saying, but when your avoidance is only up to 3 players, which sucks ass because it should be larger than 3 players. You can't avoid more than 3 at a time. But when I went on a 10 player streak, and each fucking game had a tank or a support in it that didn't know how to play the game. I'm talking about, like, not just they were bad, like they said, I don't know how to play this character, and I asked, why are you playing them? Oh, I just thought it'd be fun to play comp. I'm like, can you play anyone? Nope. And it's like, great, that's GG lost. And then it's like, next game, GG lost, GG lost. So it's not just one game. When you encounter multiple back to back, this is an actual fucking issue now.
Yeah, it is an issue because people think, oh, okay, GG lost, it's a new person, we're fucked. And having that mentality, it's making people, okay, one, they're either trolling, or two, they legitimately don't know. And I'm the kind of person that if you think I'm not going to do well, I do one of 2 things. I'm going to prove your ass wrong, but if I'm pissed off enough and you're on my ass too much, or you've pissed me off to the point where you made me feel really shitty, I'll do the exact thing you expect me to do, jack all. And
I don't tell them, like, oh, the game's lost. I'm just thinking, oh, well, the game's lost. Sometimes I'll give them shit for it if they continue to be a fucking asshole about it. But I'm saying, in general, it's an issue. And for what they get, the shitstorm that they end up getting, mature or not, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all.
I do feel bad. I
don't feel bad at all for the people that will go into the competitive mode not knowing how to play anyone after unlocking them, being able to play the basics, and then asking for a tutorial on how to play that character, and then still refusing either to play something else. This is only an issue in role queue, though. Open queue, this is never an issue, because if you have a shit tank, just go tank yourself and then it's fixed. But
I will say though, and this can be a bit more of a privileged take, but at that point, if you're going in a game and you don't have a full stack or playing with friends and you're constantly getting new players that have no idea what to do, you might just want to queue up with people either in the Discord or another Discord or try to find or network, because if it's that happening too much and you're getting and it's that upsetting, because it can be upsetting, I would rather you just play with friends or people that you're trying to network with, because then it won't be as much of an issue, because then you could
you are correct in this take that it is a privileged take, that not many, that I would love to play with people in Discord. It's just that even though I'm the owner of the server, her, it's hard to play with a full stack of 5. Like, finding 5 people to get online is harder than it thinks without a fine group system anymore. Getting 5 people online at the same time. I'm able to get 4 people online. Sometimes I can stack with 5. And I don't ever have an issue if I'm stacking with 5, but I can stack with 3 or 4, but if I'm stacking with 3 or 4 people and we're still having this issue in roll queue, and it's mostly tanks that I've been getting it, I'll go tank, won't have an issue, but like, if it's getting to the point where it's like, this is only a roll queue issue, by the way. Open queue, I don't have this issue, because, oh, new people just don't play open queue. As far as
open queues for the OGs.
As far as I find...
I think the whole... Can I get my little thoughts now on new players?
Yeah. I'm done ranting, and I'm done ranting with my tirade. You may speak.
I think the crux of the issue is that, like, it's like, it's a balance between having empathy and also being practical. If you, like, really care about winning your games, then it's understandable to ask people, hey, can you switch? But I also try to have empathy, as tilted as I do get, for the people who are brand new, because I remember being level 60 and still not knowing that Anna's primary fire healed her teammates. I was level 60 and I didn't know that. Now, Overwatch was my first person shooter, and I never read any of the hero abilities, so I was like holding myself back in a lot of ways.
I was 60 hours into Anna, and I didn't realize her anti splashed off the wall and could actually hit people.
Well,
I didn't know that.
But that's an advanced tech, though. That's like...
It's not that advanced.
I'm saying, and well, in terms of hitting it off the wall, that's more than what you're asking of the basic player.
Yeah, but I was 60 hours into Anna.
At that point. So, like...
I think I didn't know that you could jump as BAP for the longest time. Like Lucio, I didn't know you could wall ride. Like, I genuinely thought, oh, he just moves fast on the ground. And I was like, I looked at Lucio and went, damn, no, thank God I never played Lucio, because Jesus, I would be flamed for how bad I was.
Mm-hmm. I didn't understand how Zarya's charge bubbles work for a long time.
But in Overwatch 1, they weren't explained, though. My crux of my issue is, Overwatch 2 explains them with challenges that make you do shit that the character can do to make you understand how the character functions. It's not perfect, but it does better than Overwatch 1 did. I still think that it shouldn't be 50 games. I want it to be 150 games before they can go into comp.
I feel like they should have to unlock all characters, and I feel like there should be options to unlock all characters always. Like, there should be challenges. Like, I know that the base characters you can unlock, right? But, like, new characters, like Kiriko, like, there should be ways to always unlock those heroes, and you should have to unlock, like, all of them before you go into comp, something like that. I don't even know.
Well, with that tirade over, very emotional tirade. Still, I enjoy new players when I can play with them and teach them. I don't enjoy running into the dumb fucks, though. As harsh as it may be. How do we all feel about Quickplay? Not Quickplay, arcade mode.
I feel like there's like no incentive to play it unless you just want to do an arcade mode, and half the time I never want to. Yep. There's like nothing enticing for me, like, ooh, let me play this arcade mode.
I like No Limits occasionally, but
I like Total Mayhem because it literally is the most chaotic game mode, and I love it because I love chaos, but other than that, it's like... Not like nothing. There's like nothing for me to do arcade other than maybe if I wanted to visit Lunar again, or like if I really wanted to do push, which I don't.
Now, how do you guys feel about Blizzard giving every season its own feel, for its detriment or better or for worse?
I don't know if it's a good idea personally, because I mean, I guess it could be nice, like if, you know, actually I have no idea. I never really thought about that question if I'm being honest.
I mean, how do you feel about Blizzard giving it every season its own feel, with it could be being detrimental to, certain characters or being great for other ones, as we've seen with Sombra being completely overpowered, but not changing her until the very end of the season because they wanted to give it its own feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I like that because we're basically just getting tortured.
You're getting hog and ball torture without any of the good qualities.
You know, without the, yeah.
Having a ball actually being meta.
Ball will never be meta again. Except
I know, that's my fear. Actually, no, my hope for Ball is that he becomes so bad, so F tier, that they go, we have to buff him, and then they like overdo it, and he just becomes really strong again.
I don't think that'll happen. I'm sorry.
Honestly, though, I feel like their balanced like record. I wouldn't be surprised.
What do you think, Mira?
Which bit?
Well, what do you think?
I blinked out. I was reading.
What? You're zoning out from us?
No, I was just reading something.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a mood. ADD moment. I have them all the time.
The question was Blizzard giving every season its own feel, even to the detriment of its own players.
Now I remember.
How do you feel?
I don't know. It's the first season. I don't know what the second one's going to be about. Like, I think the theme for this one was fine. It was unique.
No, not like the theme as in like character theme. I mean like theme as in feel as in like, oh, Sombra was overpowered in this one. Genji was overpowered in this one.
I mean, it's launch, so they're going to be doing adjustments with everything. So once they do the adjustments here, they will probably move on to the next problematic ones and maybe not deal with them. And Sojourn will still be able to wreak havoc across the map.
I will say I do like it that they essentially said to high-level players, yeah, we're going to keep Sojourn the same because it's an issue for you guys, but it's not an issue anywhere else. Fucking deal with it. Fucking deal with it.
Especially since they had always said that they balance from the top down, but that's not happening this time.
It's like, get shit on.
Like they had said, they're like, hey, we typically balance from like top 500 and like the higher ranks, you know, as it should be. And they're like, actually, they basically had said, lower elos literally can't aim for shit, so that's why we're not touching her. They're like, you guys don't know how to use her, so we're not gonna touch her yet. And we're like, that doesn't help. That does not help whatsoever.
It maybe doesn't help, but I still find it funny.
It is funny, but it's like, really?
Her one-shot capability is insane, and I'm finding
but
that...
it's like, it comes at, like, no cost, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and the thing is, I'm not using her railgun as much as I thought I should be, because I decided to, like, just shoot and keep my charge up. And then when I have an opportunity to be pretty close, or I know I'm going to hit my shot, one shot is squishy. And I'm actually succeeding more with Sojourn now than what I was before. And I like it. I'm like, oh, this is okay. This is problematic. Oh God, why are they chasing me? Leave me alone.
I think it's mainly because, well, in my opinion, I think you should use it more similar to, I'm trying to think, Junker Queen's knife. Use it when you have it. Don't wait to use it because it comes back so quickly. Her knife comes back in like 3 seconds. Your railgun comes back in like 4.
I mean, I've seen gameplay and I've been looking at tips and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, you can use it, But the having it at constantly keeping it at a high charge and one-shotting a support or somebody that's doing a lot of damage or, bursting down a tank is a little bit more viable than just randomly shooting off railgun shots and missing half of them. When if you save it and know you can make the shot like 1 in 3 shots, take the 1 instead of the 3 because that one shot you will make.
Now,
and you'll still keep the charge.
I'm going to skip over the next subject, so we'll talk about it last. Well, actually, no. We'll talk about it right now. Ramatra. Initial thoughts?
I like it.
Ventus?
I like the morally gray.
I do like him and what I've seen. He looks really cool. The weird part of me immediately started simping for him hard. But I genuinely do like what they have going. I can't wait to see it because honestly, it looks like somebody I would play. Like, he just seems really cool as a character right now, and his lore and everything. I can't wait to see everything about it.
I am really excited for Ramatra as a new tank. I know people are really upset because, they were supposed to give us a new support. How dare they?
What?
The next support we get is Season 4. If it's Falling Track, Season 2 new tank, Season 3 DPS, Season 4 support. It's gonna suck before we get a like 10. Before we can finally hit double digits.
Now, in terms of the new hero, what do you guys feel about more potential lore for Zenyatta?
Zenyatta, Symmetra, Genji.
I would love to see more Zen, more Zen related lore, because I think now that they had talked about, how Ramatra and Zen have history, and that Symmetra is talking to
Zenyatta. Yeah, because I think it was her one of her origin stories in her event. She went to the monastery and was talking with Zenyatta and that type of thing. So there's a possibility there.
Yeah, so I think that if they're gonna add more lore for him, that's gonna be great, especially with Ramatra being a new Omnic hero, and they have history because he was a Shambali monk, and he had been had worked and been with Zenyatta. That I think it's gonna be really cool to see their relationship and basically see how Zenyatta completely believes to be a true pacifist, while Ramatra's like, I'm done with this. We need to use violence to stop the discrimination against Omnics, and I think it's gonna be a very interesting dynamic to see because I think that's really cool to see the two polar opposites.
Morally gray.
Morally gray and stuff just clash with that, but also to see how the relationship's going to play out, and also that Symmetra is now who didn't really care for Omnix and didn't really care for Zenyatta, but now that they she
have interacted,
and there can be more.
I still think Sim is a dick though.
She is. She can be.
No, I think.
But it's because of her upbringing a little bit.
No, I think Sim is still a dick simply because, oh yeah, let's just fuck over an entire population for our corporation. That sounds good.
Vishkar, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're a dick. I don't care how you paint it. She's just a dick. I can't wait to bust her face in as Lucio. Some boss battle somewhere.
I'm just hoping that maybe Widowmaker slowly gets some of her I think it's already shown. Yeah, it's slowly coming. Not fully, completely, but it's starting.
What?
Yeah, you hear Moira asking her how she's feeling, and she's doing it more and more frequently now. And you listen to the voice lines, and there's some of them that's very odd. That's very, very sad, very melancholy. And Moira is asking more and more on, Widowmaker on how she's feeling. Let me know if you feel anything. if anything does come up, do let me know. Something along those lines.
I don't think that's out of
And
concern. I think that's out of experimentation.
well, that's what I'm meaning. I'm meaning that there's something that's popping up with Widow. She's acting differently than her normal, and Moira's watching her. It's her experiment. Of course, she's going to notice if there is a change in her experiment.
But no, yeah, it's like Widowmaker slowly getting some emotions back, and I feel like it would be nice to see maybe a book if she got like some redemption or something where she's like she gets her human back almost, but she's still a cold-hearted killer at the end of the day. But she was conditioned to be like that, so it's like
see, and also I've read in between the lines a little bit, because the only time she can actually feel anything, because she's been conditioned not to feel, the only time she can feel anything is when she's killing. And that's because of Moira, because of her experimentations. And that's why she's so good, air quotes, good at what she does, because underneath all of that, she wants to continue that feeling, that the desire to feel, even though she doesn't know it, because killing is bringing some form of emotion. It's bringing something to her. She doesn't know what. But now as time goes on, because of that, more emotions, maybe just one other, is starting to pop through.
I just want to know though, what did Overwatch do to Ryan?
What do you mean?
There's a lot of especially from
yes.
Ana, where they're like, "Why did you recall? Like, you know what they did to you and like other stuff." Like, there was an interaction between Ana and Ryan that I don't think it's as used in game, and
It's where,
like,
what are we going to do without you? He's like, the world needs me, and it's something like he is expendable or something like that. And something Ana says, but we do need you, Ryan. Something like that.
I think that's not. I know a lot of people like jumped on the depressing bandwagon for that, but I think that's more of the guy when he was in Overwatch 1 at its prime was in his late
20s.
Late 20s, was it? Or early 30s?
No, 20s, because he had like long, gloriously long blonde hair.
His 20s, and then Overwatch 1 came around for its first going on, and he's in his 30s. Overwatch 2 comes around. He's watched Brig fully grow up into an adult. He's, what, Brig is 20-ish? 20?
Yeah.
He's in his 50s now, at least. He's getting old. He's getting really, really old. He's getting old for the job he's doing. I think it's more of he wants to retire or settle down or stop this, because he's already been through at least 2 war. He's already been through a war, 2 confrontations, and dealt with Talon through all of Overwatch 1. He probably doesn't want to fight a second Omnic War. He probably wants to be done with it all. Maybe like retire back at his villa in his castle. I think he understands like he's still needed up front, but I think it's more sinking in that he's passed his knowledge on to Brig, and he wants to retire.
I disagree. I don't think he can, because...
Can he retire? Probably not, but I think he wants to.
I don't know if he wants to, because here's the thing. Let's put the stuff out there. And I'm going to take what you say in consideration. But he lost his mentor, okay?
Yeah. I know
he doesn't want what's going on now, and there's been hints that there was something up with Overwatch long before, during the launch and stuff like that. So that might be something that pops up. But the thing is,
he doesn't want it to happen to anyone else.
Yes. He can't retire. He doesn't want to retire because he doesn't want anybody
I think it's a mix of both. I think it's a mix of both, where he doesn't want anyone to die, he doesn't want this to happen again, he wants to end this, but I also think he's feeling his older age, that he's getting older, he's getting slower, he's getting worse in some ways. He's not able to keep up as much, he's kind of outliving his role, if you know what I mean. Like, in the original Overwatch, 1 team, he was one of the bigger tank guys with Winston, up on the front lines fighting. There's people to fill in now in Overwatch, where there's more people now, and I think he's getting to the point where he doesn't want to retire, he's just feeling his age. And I think that's an important character development for him. That, yeah, he's 50. He's getting there.
And it could also be hinting at what, his mentor, what happened to his mentor. He may be fully intending to do what his mentor did if it comes down to it. And let's be honest, Reinhardt would. He fucking would. If it came down to it, he would do that. And and I think that's what scares Anna the most, because she knows him so well, she doesn't want to lose him. And, that's just something that I think that voice line or that interaction might be hinting at.
But I think that's a good step forward, though, for both of them in character development-wise. Anna basically played her death, missed a bunch of years on the lifetime of Reinhardt and everyone else on the team. She's now trying to rebuild the kindling between her child, and also trying to rebuild the kindling between her friends, with it not working as well. People are off doing their own shit now. They thought she was dead. They've moved on with their lives. It's kind of like a dad that is trying to reintroduce himself to your life again, even though you've moved well past him. It's hard.
She does see that. And I think the thing that is the very grown up and mature thing is she accepts that they are not ready to accept. Some of them aren't ready to accept her back yet, and she accepts that. And one of the things that I do find I think one of the best interactions is between her and Hanzo.
What is
when he's talking it's about his redemption, and he's talking about his father and stuff like that. And she tells him, no matter what you may think, I think your father would have been proud of you. And, she talks about how he says there's no redemption for himself and blah, 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 blah. But she is being the words of wisdom, something he needs to hear.
I also feel bad
think it's
for
just
Farah.
good.
I think with Reinhardt wanting to maybe sacrifice himself in the future or something, and maybe that'll happen in the campaign, Farah's getting all kinds of fucked up right now. She heard about her mother, lost her mother, with the Overwatch 1 team, looked up to Reinhardt as a father figure. Reinhardt's getting older. It's just bad time for Farah.
Yep, and during their comic, they actually did a mission together. Didn't know it. And it was established that they would move at Farah's pace with what she is comfortable with. And Anna does feel bad. She said she didn't want, and her reasoning, I don't blame Anna for doing what she did, where she didn't want Farah to join Overwatch, because she didn't want her daughter to die. She didn't want her daughter to sacrifice herself and go through the training that she did, because it is her daughter.
But her daughter also wanted to be just like her mother, and Reinhardt and her hero, and went through it.
Yeah, and that at that point, it was a growing point, and she accepts that, and she is proud of her.
I know
she's proud of what she's become, and she tells her that.
I just feel bad for Farah.
Well, it was rocky in the beginning, but now there's some interactions, and because of that comic, and since then they're kind of slowly building that back up. It's not going to take tomorrow. It's something that's going to slowly build back up.
And knowing how Blizzard releases lore, it'll be the next 20 years before we see the fruition of that event.
But I think Farah did need to hear from her mom that she was proud of her. She may deny it and may grumble and blah, 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 whatever. I don't need that. But deep down, the little girl inside of her does like the fact that her mother is proud of her.
What do you think, Scrap and Ventus?
I don't know as much about the lore, but
any character
it makes sense to me what Nira's saying.
Hey, at least it's not like, oh, Reinhardt, this life must agree with you, all over again every single game.
I like the new voice lines.
Okay, the new ball voice lines are kind of my favorite thing actually, because just like the way he talks is so funny. They made him so sassy. Like all his little voice
Oh my
lines when he gets
god.
them off the edge of the map, he goes, "Try using your grapple." Ha. And then there's
Look.
one voice line where they're like Brig and Hammond are arguing, I forget over what, but she's like, "I'm not going to give you a cookie now." And it's like hamster profanity filter picking up words not found. And it's like the hamster just calling her all the worst slurs. And and then there's the one where when you kill Genji in Blade, he goes, "Deflect that, loser," and it's
Oh
just so
god.
funny.
Wait a minute, have you heard his interaction with Reaper?
No.
Okay. So this is possibly my favorite voice line interaction. One of them. It's up there because I love Ball. I'm a Ball enjoyer. I love Ball.
Ball
So
So
enjoyer.
great.
because Reaper goes, "You better not be holding us back." Something like that. Trying to be edgy, and then squeaks, and then it says, um, something is one word, and it's basically something about don't hold us back either in one word. Like it's literally just that in one word. Um, and it's really sassy. And then Reaper goes, "We're gonna get along just fine."
Aw.
I'm like, oh my god, Reaper and Ball, they're getting along. Okay, this makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah,
Onto
all the voice lines of Ball are great.
what do you guys suspect will be on the Season 2 Battle Pass? What heroes do you think will get new skins?
I hope Ball. I
Right?
don't know. I feel like more definitely the new characters like Kiriko, Sojourn, Younger Queen.
Yeah.
Well, Junker Queen already got a skin.
Yeah, but they're
I
not the
would
best.
maybe hope for like I could see maybe like Brigida. I could see Ramatra obviously getting skins, but that's a given.
Yeah.
Um Maybe Zen because of his relation. Maybe Zen gets a cool skin.
Zen just
Yeah.
got a new skin with the shop.
Yeah, but like with the battle pass, I think. Because there was how many skins in the battle pass? 5?
5 in total.
Yeah.
No,
So,
no, there's one for each tier, so 9.
yeah. And then taking that in account with also the event, I'd say Zen. I would like to also say Orisa because it's, holiday. They might do Tracer because she has a connection with Zen and
What do you think?
that one Omnic, uh, Matra,
What do you think the next? You mean Mandata?
Mandana. What? Yeah.
What do you guys think will be the theme this time?
No idea. Who knows what Blizzard's gonna do next?
Yeah, I don't know.
Never let them know your next move.
The next subject. Do you guys think Blizzard's getting too greedy?
A little bit.
Do you think
They've always been
do
greedy.
you think do you think the ship is gonna sink on Overwatch 2 before things get better? Like, do you think we're taking on too much water?
I
I
think it
think
depends
things are
on
kind of
continue.
getting better. I don't know. Like we're getting characters, and I know the map pool thing sucks, but there are new maps and more people are coming to play the game, and I see the game more in the mainstream. So things
Yeah.
are getting better. I think the entire Overwatch player base, especially the old people that have been there for a while, are just kind of like jaded. I don't know. I know I sure as hell am. So it's hard sometimes to see the positive things, but I think it is getting better.
I guess what
Yeah.
I'm asking is, do you see Blizzard's greed sinking Overwatch 2?
Who knows, man?
And lastly, do you think free to play is paying off for this community? Because,
yeah. I see a lot of people playing it and like giving the game a try.
Modern Warfare sold 600 million copies, and it's a paid game, and it has higher sales numbers than Overwatch, and I think it's slowly approaching WoW.
My friend who hadn't played Overwatch in 2 years, who got on today again, and I was really excited to like hang out with her. She definitely would not have downloaded the game if it was paid, like if you had to pay $60 for it. So I think it is, good that it's free to play because it is bringing in people that just are gonna at least give it a try and see how it is.
Yeah.
Who just might not do it otherwise.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's a model that will retain people's interest? Because with a paid model, you actually have, you have more money to divert to funds and shit. Do you believe that the free-to-play model will keep the game alive, or do you think they'll, or do you
I
think
think
like...
I think it'll help it.
I think it'll help.
I think it'll help it. I think, a year from now, someone could say, "Oh, I never tried Overwatch 2 when it came out. Let me try it now that it's free."
Yep.
Or not that now that it's free. Let me try it now. It's free. That's what I meant.
And what do you guys think the campaign will be priced at? I don't think it'll be.
God, probably like 40,
I don't think
50.
I don't think it's worth 60.
Are they going to be pricing the campaign differently? That's my question.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Campaign will be.
That's what I've heard.
Priced. I don't expect us to get the campaign for free. That would be ludicrous.
Blizzard giving out a game for free.
If they're charging $20 for a skin, I expect this thing to probably be $80.
Oh, I hope not. I hope it's like 40. That feels. I mean, anything for the campaign feels unreasonable when like Overwatch 2. We've been working on Overwatch 2 for like 4 years, you guys, and it's gonna have PvE. And then it comes out and it's free, but they don't have PvE. So
by the way, remember that claim before when they said there's gonna be 72 skins in the game when it launches? Yeah, they were talking about the original skins. Because
makes sense.
Technically it's a new game and they didn't exist in Overwatch 2.
Wait, but there's no, there's way more than 72 skins in Overwatch 1. There's like 30 heroes.
Legendaries and epics.
But that's surely way more than 70 because most characters in Overwatch 1 that were out, except for maybe most of them had like 4 or 5 legendary skins and then like a handful of epics.
It was like supposed to be 72 like plus or whatever. Eventually someone confirmed it was just them saying that instead of saying all the content from Overwatch 1 was added, they made it sound like the Overwatch 1 content never existed, and here's all this brand new content for you to enjoy.
Well, that, again, it sounds like Blizzard. They're fluffing their numbers, they're padding their stats in every way they can.
Anywho, now we're at the post-ramble. Does anyone want to talk about anything Overwatch related, not really associated with the subjects that came before?
I spent this entire podcast in a custom game. Oh, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I don't think, honestly, on my end, there's nothing.
I was just going to say, I spent this entire podcast in a custom game with some guy, and he was just, like, arguing with me, and then he was like, "Why are you so mad?" And I was like, "I'm not mad, bro. You're just an asshole." This is Overwatch player base.
Yeah.
Well, this has been all on Overtalk. Thank you for joining me, guys, as we did Overtalk each other a bit.
Yeah, of course.
Staying true to the name.
And so.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.